one look at the Merriman. One spritz of the lukewarm ocean water, blasting you in the face, and you'd swear this was the Caribbean, St. Bart, St. Thomas, St. something. Surrounded by serenity, this seems like nirvana. Who would have ever thought, in reality, this is one of the most contentious bodies of water in the world, smack dab in the barren Middle East, a vacation paradise just 40 miles off the coast of Iran? With its striking fjords and breathtaking blue water, they call this the Norway of Arabia. They also call it the Persian Gulf. The world's busiest oil shipping lanes pass right through here. More than 20 million barrels a day funneled past these waterways. These channels, the very veins that keep oil flowing to the rest of the planet. But we call it the perfect spot for the most unexpected day of fun in the sun we ever experienced. Our journey to the tiny Omani outpost of Kasab starts at sunup in a fogged-in Dubai, along with a busload of tourists desperate to escape the Middle East's version of Vegas for something a bit less phony and contrived. We set out on a 2.5-hour-long sojourn through desolate Emirati villages, blistering in the sun. A little more than halfway into the trip, those blue road signs ahead are an indicator we are finally approaching the border of a country we have been desperate to add to our list of places visited because no one else we know has. Oman. Right now we are at the border of United Arab Emirates and Oman. We're not supposed to photograph, so I'll just photograph inside the bus here. But basically the bus driver's taking our passports to get them stamped, and we'll drive about 100 yards to the Omani side and get them stamped again. And then off we go on the adventure. Finally, inside this country that sits at the mouth of the Persian Gulf, we follow a rocky beach for miles before dropping into the minute fishing village where our seafaring adventure embarks.
Okay, my name is Khaled. We'll be together now and until the end of it. Okay?
It's a long ride to get here, but we're here, and it looks cool as hell. We're going to see Iran from a boat too.
Aboard an aging wooden dhow, its floors haphazardly strewn with what looks like lawn furniture cushions, we set sail into the glistening aquamarine abyss. High tea on the high sea begins shortly after departure as we get a brief geography lesson from our guide.
How far are we from Iran?
Exactly from here, 65 kilometers.
And the first photo ops follow soon after, which brings us to the first reason you should choose this part of the Persian Gulf as your next vacation destination. The sheer, unexpected, stunningly surprising beauty of this place. Every direction you point your camera, you find a scene more picturesque than the last frame you clicked.
I want to show you something in the mountain here.
The rocky terrain here looks like the surface of Mars and seems nearly as remote and unexplored. No one talks about coming to this place. Guarantee your friends haven't been. And why is that? Distance? Perception? Unfamiliarity? Who knows? Who cares? For this one moment, this place is yours and yours alone, save for the rando foreign tourists who are your shipmates for the day.
Endroit magnifique pour faire de la natation et la plongée.
Our multilingual tour guide points out the primitive surroundings in German, French, and English.
Here we are in Telegraph Island, one of the most famous islands here in Sultanate of Oman, maybe in the Arab world.
Over there, the football field-sized island where in 1864 a telegraph repeater station was built for communications between Britain and India. Legend has it the British soldiers who manned the outpost all went crazy from the heat and isolation. We also pass a seaside fishing village accessible only by boat. So remote, school kids stay gone the entire week before returning to town on the weekends. It's just too difficult to get back and forth every day. But it is hard to fully dive into this experience unless you actually dive in. And when you do, you experience reason number 2. This part of the Persian Gulf should be where you spend your next vacation. The water, bathtub warm and so clear you can see for what seems like an eternity. A glimpse under the surface, and this place suddenly transforms into the tropics, belying the inhospitable desert that awaits you on shore. This spot on the globe, so often associated with tumult and tribulation, becomes utopia. Turns out frolicking in fjords works up an appetite, and the boat crew has that covered with a buffet of Middle Eastern fare.
What do we got here?
I don't know.
I mean, you can guess some of it.
Pita, hummus, vegetable stew, and fish that looks awful but tastes amazing. After cruising a few miles further down the Persian Gulf, or Arabian Gulf as the locals prefer to call it, we head toward a remote inlet where we spot what may or may not be the yacht of a Russian oligarch hiding out from the law after the Ukrainian invasion. Who knows? It's possible. But we also spot a tiny cove where a mini armada of other tourist dhow boats await. A quiet corner of the Gulf, teeming with colorful fish. And as the crew drops anchor, travelers drop their street clothes and their inhibitions. They've been baking in the Middle Eastern sun for hours on this boat in anticipation of this exact moment.
Here we go.
This is the one spot where peer pressure is enjoyed and encouraged.
I want to dive. You want to jump?
No, I just want to jump.
Go on then.
Oh, you go first.
After all, if anything brings together strangers in a strange place, it is the communal feeling of being half-dressed in paradise, in a part of the world not exactly synonymous with being half-dressed. Your troubles suddenly thousands of miles away. It's also true that if there's one other thing that brings strangers together, it's cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Morgan. Happy birthday to you.
And the icing on the cake for this trip is an impromptu birthday celebration for one of our shipmates as we head back to shore.
Can't beat that.
One other thing you just can't beat is the pair of interlopers who joined our group en route home. As we look off the port side of the ship, two dolphins tagging along for a late afternoon swim. Which brings us to the number 3 reason you should choose this part of the Persian Gulf for your next vacation. A front row view of marine life is almost guaranteed. Happens on nearly every one of these tourist excursions. And seeing something amazing like this in a place as amazing as this is the perfect end to a perfect day. Look, obviously, there is a good chance a trip to Oman has never been at the top of your travel plans. Most people couldn't even find this place on a map. But it's tragic to think this part of the world's only known to so many because of conflict and controversy, because of oil, something that wasn't even discovered here until the 1960s. Before that, this place was known for seafood and pearl diving, and it can still be known for its beauty and history and culture if you're willing to step outside your comfort zone. As we found out, spend a little time in Oman and quickly you'll come to realize it may be hot as hell here, but it sure looks like heaven.